ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We all know last few days, couple of weeks now, there is a miracle happening both in the sky and also on the land of Bharatvarsha. Now, planets are in a special positions. Guru Brihaspati is in Vrishabha Rasi and Sun we all know is in Makar Rasi, and today Moon also joins the Makar Rasi. Today is Amavasya, it's called Mauni Amavasya. Kumbha Mela is going on, and this is the biggest festival on the planet. More than 35 crores of people are expected to attend. Already more than 10 crores have attended. That means more than 35 crores means more than 1 in 5, 20% of Indians, they attend this festival. There is no other festival on the planet like this. And also when you go out in the night around 8:30, we can see all the planets also lined up in one line. Now, even our children are watching in the sky the other day, the Gurukula. So there is something very amazing, special thing is happening. All the sadhus of all the paramparas, they are coming and attending this festival, and we know what's happening there. So I thought I'm also with the Sridhar who is taking us day after tomorrow morning, day after tomorrow. Yeah. So I thought I'll prepare my consciousness, and there are few verses from Bhagavatam glorifying Mother Ganga, and also there is some questions we get. I thought we will read these things. Before I start, there is a shloka we often hear from Bhaj Govinda. Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita Sakridapi Ena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena Nacharcha. To one who has studied the Bhagavad Gita even a little, who has sipped at least a drop of Ganga water, who has worshipped at least once Lord Murari, there is no discussion with Yama, the Lord of Death. That means even if one takes one drop of Ganga, he don't have to meet the Yamadutas and no discussion with Yamaraj. He will not take bath again. Then what if we take bath in Ganga? And also what if we take bath in Ganga during Kumbha Mela? It's a festival of Ganga, Kumbha Mela. Actually, every year there is a festival that is called Ganga Sagar Mela, happens on Makar Sankranti day, Pongal day. But every 6 years, there is a special festival that is called Ardha Kumbha Mela. And every 12 years, there is a festival that is called Kumbha Mela. And every 144 years, that happens Maha Kumbh Mela. That is what is happening. Yeah, you still have chance until Mahashivratri to go and take a dip in Ganga in Prayagraj. Also based on the position of Jupiter, this festival happens in different places. And now in this particular arrangement of planets, the festival is happening in Prayagraj. Sometimes in Haridwar, sometimes in Ujjain, sometimes in Nashik. But special occasion, this one, it is in Prayagraj. So what are we going to discuss? Why Ganga is so special, the names of Ganga, and some questions related to Ganga, and from Bhagavatam, some slokas we are going to discuss. We start with why is Ganga so special? Ganga is so special. We'll read a verse from Bhagavatam, that is from 1st canto, 19th verse. 1st canto, 19th chapter, 6th verse. Ya Vailasasri Tulasi Vimishra Krishnangrirenvabhyadhikambu पुनाति लोकानुभयत्र शेषा कस्तां न सेवेतमरिष्यमाणः. The river by which the king sat to fast, Parikshit Maharaj is doing Prayapavesha on the bank of this river, carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulasi leaves. Yavai lasasri tulasi vimishra krishnangriren vabhyadikam gunetri. She is carrying the water which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord, mixed with the tulsi leaves. Therefore, the water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of the river. Punati lokan bhayatra seshan. Bhayatra means in and out. Seshan, sa ishan. Not only the planets, along with their rulers, like Lord Shiva and also all other devatas. Kastam na seveta marishyamanaha. Then who will not take shelter of such a river? Ganga. Of course, some say that this river is also Yamuna. And Srila Prabhupada also said Yamuna. And in later verses, he said it is Ganga. And finally, in one place, he says that it both. In fact, Ganga, 1,000 times more purified, it is Yamuna. That is Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. Maharaj Parikshit, just after receiving the news of his death within 7 days, at once retired from family life and shifted himself to the sacred bank of the Yamuna river. Generally, it is said that the king took shelter on the bank of the Ganga, but according to Srila Jiva Goswami, the king took shelter on the bank of the Yamuna. Srila Jiva Goswami's statement appears to be more accurate because of the geographical situation. Maharaj Parikshit resided in his capital Hastinapura, situated near present Delhi, and the river Yamuna flows down past the city. Naturally, the king would have taken shelter of the river Yamuna because she was flowing past his palace too. And as far as sanctity is concerned, the river Yamuna is more directly connected with Lord Krishna than the Ganga. The Lord sanctified the river Yamuna from the beginning of his transcendental pastimes in the world. While his father Vasudeva was crossing the Yamuna with the baby Lord Krishna for a safe place at Gokula on the other bank of the river from Mathura, the Lord fell down in the river, and by the dust of his lotus feet, the river at once became sanctified. It is especially mentioned here in that Maharaj Parikshit took shelter of that particular river which is beautifully flowing, carrying the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, mixed with tulsi leaves. Krishnangri renvabhyadikam buneti. Lord Krishna's lotus feet are always besmeared with the tulsi leaves, and thus, as soon as his lotus contact the water of the Ganga and the Yamuna, the rivers become at once sanctified. The Lord, however, contacted the river Yamuna more than the Ganga. According to the Varaha Purana, as quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami, there is no difference between the water of the Ganga and the Yamuna. But when the water of the Ganga is sanctified 100 times, it is called the Yamuna. Similarly, it is said in the scriptures that 1,000 names of Vishnu are equal to one name of Rama, and 3 names of Lord Brahma are equal to one name of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada mentioning that the river is Yamuna, Jiva Goswami is saying, and some acharyas are saying it's Ganga, because in the later verses also it is mentioned it is Ganga, and even now we see in India there is a place called Suptal where Shukadeva Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, that is on the bank of Ganga. So is it bank of Yamuna or Ganga? Prabhupada says finally both are same. And especially Jiva Goswami is quoting, if Ganga is purified 100 times more, that is Yamuna. So both are one and the same. Now, this is the river coming from the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So, sanctifies one and all, not only all the people, but also rulers of all the planets. Sa Ishan, Bhayatra Seshan. So, everybody must take shelter of this river. Kastamna seveta marishyamana. Anybody who is going to die, are they not willing to take shelter of this river? Sutta Goswami is questioning. We are all going to die. We should take shelter of this river, Ganga. And now this is the festival, the river Ganga. Definitely we should take opportunity to go take bath in the river and associate with all the sadhus coming from all over the world. And also, like some people, they don't even come out in the entire year, but only at this time you see them coming out, especially in festivals like Kumbha Mela. They come out and take bath. We can also take their darshan and associate. Now there is a verse glorifying Mother Ganga, offering obeisances. I will tell, please repeat after me. नमामि गंगे तव पाद पंकजं सुरासुरैर्वन्दित दिव्य रूपम् भुक्तिं च मुक्तिं च ददासि नित्यम् भावानुसारेण सदा नराणाम् Obeisances to your lotus feet, O Mother Ganga. Your transcendental form is worshipped by divine and demonic both. You give material prosperity and spiritual well-being every day, depending on the level of devotion and attitude of men. Bhavanusarena sadanarana. She will give spiritual advancement, also the material advancement. Bhuktim cha muktim cha dadasi nityam bhavanusarena sadanarana. And everybody worships her. Surasurair vandita divya rupam. Not only the devatas, but also the asuras. That Ganga, we are offering obeisances to her lotus feet. So we had many great sages. They had their ashramas on the bank of Ganga. Maitreya had, Vyasadeva has, that is Samyaprasa. Markandeya had, that is Chitrasila, and also Valmiki Muni also has his ashram near Ganga. Many performed tapasya and left their bodies. We know Parishit Maharaj, we know Ajamil finally left his body in Haridwar. We know Dhritarashtra, I think Saptasrota, there is a place where Dhritarashtra left his body. That's near Ganga, Bhagavatam only says. And many other places. Actually, here Parishit Maharaj is saying one shloka. Tammopayatam pratiyantu vipra Ganga cha devi druta chittamishe Dijopasushta kuhakas takshakova Dashatvalam gayata vishnugata. He's saying that whatever happens, let it happen. Let the Brahmana's curse come true. Let Takshaka come and bite me. No problem. O Brahmanas, I have taken shelter of you. I have taken shelter of this Mother Ganga. Ganga cha devi drutachittamise. Dashatvalam gayata Vishnu gata. You all sing the glories of Vishnu. When you sing the glories of Vishnu, I hear and I will leave body in the bank of this Ganga. That was his prayer. And we also know how great is Ganga. There is a, at the end of Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami wanted to say how great is Bhagavatam. He is saying that Bhagavatam is so great, just like Ganga. Ganga is so great, Bhagavatam is also like that. He starts actually saying, Vishnu is the greatest of all the devatas and Shiva is the greatest of all devotees. And Ganga is the greatest of all the rivers. Like that, Bhagavatam is greatest of all Puranas. Nimnaganam yatha Ganga Devanam achyuto yatha Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhuhu Purananam idam tatha. Just as Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, just as Lord Vishnu, Achyuta Krishna is the greatest of all the Devatas, just as Lord Shiva is the greatest of all Vaishnavas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all the Puranas. So to tell that something is the greatest, Ganga is the benchmark. Yeah. And people take bath in Ganga in good times, bad times, and every time and any time. And especially in the festivals like this, one should take bath in Ganga. We see in Pandavas also, after the war is over, they went to Ganga to take bath, to offer oblations to all those loved ones left their bodies in the Kurukshetra war. Ganga is flowing, Ganga meets Saraswati river at the Prayag, and also Yamuna river in Prayag. After that, it is called Ganga only. After some time, Ganga comes to Ayodhya and Ganga meets Sarayu. Then also it is called Ganga. Then finally, Ganga meets the ocean. Then also, ocean is called as Ganga Sagar. Like when Ganga is mixed with something, that is Ganga. Even ocean is called Ganga Sagar, and that is where Ganga meets the ocean. Lord Kapila Dev is there, still there. Like he is performing tapasya. So Ganga remains Ganga, irrespective of who meets Ganga, who takes part in Ganga. Ganga remains pure. Right. So, what is the meaning of Ganga? Many times Ganga, Ganga, Ganga. Every word, right, when we hear, in English words, many times there is no meaning. It comes from some other language, they borrow something. Sometimes you will not find meaning. Yeah. I don't know how they will derive Ganges. There's no root word and why did it come. But Ganga, it is told in the scriptures, in the dictionaries. They are called koshas in Sanskrit. Haricharanat Gam Gata Iti Ganga. From the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, Gam means earth. It came to earth. Gam Gata, having gone to earth, it becomes Ganga. Haricharanat Gam Gata Ganga. That which descended from the lotus feet of Vishnu on this earth is Ganga. We have many explanations, but one beautiful verse Bhagavatam says that when Vamana, he pierced the edge of the Brahmanda, okay, the Karana ocean water came to this material world. That is Ganga. There are many names of Ganga, but some are very famous. We need to know those names. Why Ganga is so special? Ganga is the Vibhuti of the Supreme Lord. He tells in Bhagavad Gita as well as Bhagavatam. He says, Pavana Pavatamasmi, Rama Shastrabhutamaham, Jashana Makarasyasmi, Shotasamasmi Jahnavi. Of all the flowing rivers, I am Ganga. And also he says, Tirthanam Shotasam Ganga, Samudra Sarasamaham, Aidhanam Danuraham, Tripuragno, Danishmatam. He says, of all the Tirthas, I am Ganga. Tirthas on the bank of the rivers, I am Ganga. And Supreme Lord is saying, with this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So he's saying Ganga is my Vibhuti, my opulence. So many names of Ganga, one from Amarakosha, one from Haribhakti Vyasa. Ganga Vishnupadi Jahnutanaya Suranimnaga Bhagirathi Tripadaga Trisrota Bhishma Surapi. Vishnupadi, it is coming from the lotus feet of Vishnu. Jahnutanaya, because it is considered as the daughter of Jahnu Muni, because from his ears Ganga came. Suranimnaga, it is also there in the heavenly planets. Bhagirathi, Bhagirata brought, that's why she is Bhagirathi. Tripadaka, it flows in the three worlds. Trisrota, also similar meaning. Bhishma Surapi, mother of Bhishma. So these are the names of Ganga. That is what the dictionary says. And another famous verse. Actually, this verse we are supposed to recite every time we take darshan of Ganga. I will tell, please repeat after me. Nalini Nandini Sita Malini cha Mahapaga Vishnupadargya Sambhuta Ganga Tripadagamini Bhagirati Bhogavati Jahnavi Tridaseshwari. Here, many different glorifications of the word. Ganga gives joy, Ganga is pure, Ganga is having no contamination. And also, Ganga is coming from the lotus feet of Vishnu. Ganga is purifying the three worlds, brought by Bhagirada, and also it is flowing in the lower planets as Bhogavati, Jahnavi, because considered as a daughter of Jahnamuni, Tridaseshwari, and she, in one sense, she is the ruler of all the three worlds, because Ganga is there in the upper planets, middle planets like earthly planets, and the lower planets. Yeah. Names of Ganga. Bhagavatam has many different names also, different verses. Swardhuni, Amartya Nadi, Samudra Patni, Haridwar, Arhanamba, Yudhuni, Sarit Pravara. Different cantos in Bhagavatam has different verses. Actually, many different. Sometimes just now we heard the name Samudra. People say that Samudra is the husband of Ganga. Sometimes we hear Vishnu is the husband of Ganga. Sometimes we have heard that Shiva is the husband of Ganga. Sometimes we hear Shantanu is the husband of Ganga. Who is the husband of Ganga? She is not wife of Vishnu. That story is concocted. It is coming from some so-called Bhagavatam, which is not authentic. This is not actual Bhagavatam. So don't get carried away. That is, it is told in scripture. That is not accepted by Vaishnavacharyas, Devi Bhagavatam. She is not wife of Vishnu. Huh? Ganga Janaka, correct. He is called father of Ganga because she is coming from Vishnu. Ganga is not Brahma's creation. Normally, many rivers also Brahma creation, but not Ganga. And also, Lord Shiva is considered as the husband of Ganga. We also hear this. That is also not authentic, because one sense, anyone who bears, that is called husband. He was bearing the force of Ganga. He kept on his head, because otherwise if she falls on earth, earth will be drowned with that force. So he was requested, and but some say that here again that is not coming from scriptures that we consider as authentic. And Samudra Patni, generally every river meets Samudra, and then Samudra is also a representation of Narayana in one sense. So in that sense, Ganga is called Samudra Patni. Other rivers are also called Samudra Patni, because finally all rivers meet Samudra. Yeah, but still, who is Ganga's husband is Shantanu. Yeah, we all know the story. Maybe some other time, but there is no confusion. Similarly, whose daughter is Ganga? He just told Vishnu is called Ganga Janaka. Vishnu is the father. Bhagirada is father. Jahnamuni is father. Himavan is father. Who is the father of Ganga? Bhagirada brought, she's called Bhagiradi, but she's not really daughter of Bhagirada. Similarly, Jahnamuni is, of course, Ganga came, he appeared before coming here, he was actually takes entire Ganga, and finally after pleading, he releases Ganga. So, he's called father in one sense, because he gave another birth, but, and also, Vishnu, ultimate father of everybody, Ganga also. Himavan is said to be the father, same father for Mother Parvati. So she is considered to be daughter. In one place in Bhagavatam also it is said. I think she is the daughter of Himavan. Like that. This already we spoke, whether Bhagavatam is spoken on the bank of Ganga or Yamuna. Some acharyas are saying like this, some acharyas are saying like that. And the verse that I just read, Parikshit Maharaj saying, Ganga cha Devi Dutachittami, say, I took shelter of Ganga. But they say Ganga and Yamuna both one, so no confusion here. But Suktal is the place that many see that this thing. Also, different scriptures explain the descent of Ganga differently. For example, Bhagavatam in one verse it says the third canto, I think. So in the Brahmanda appears by the toenail of Vamanadev, from there comes Ganga. That is one descent. And also another story is there that Brahma collected the water in the Kamandalu and then he leaves, like the water that is washed the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. That is Ganga. That is another story is there. And we know that from heavenly planets how she came to earthly planets and how she went. So there are different descents are described in Ramayana, briefly in Mahabharata, and also in Srimad Bhagavatam. All are true. Everywhere you see that one part of the story is told. Like that's how all are true. Here there is one verse. Dhatu kamandalu jalam tadurukramasya adavane jana pavitrataya narendra swadhunya bhu nabasi sa patni nimarshti lokatrayam bhagavato vishadeva kirtihi. O king, the water from Lord Brahma's kamandalu washed the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadeva, who is known as Guru, the wonderful actor. Thus, that water became so pure that it was transformed into the water of the Ganga, which went flowing down from the sky, purifying the three worlds like the pure flame of the Supreme Personality of God. When he appears, water appeared, that is Ganga, and Brahma collected, he washed, that is flowed down, that is Ganga. From heavenly planets, Bhagirath brought, that is also Ganga. And what we see is Ganga. And this thing, because in the heavenly planet she is called as Alagananda. Here she is called as Mandakini. And in other planets, lower planets, she is called as Bhogavari. So the different parts of the same story is told. There is no confusion. It is one same story. There are some slokas from Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj performed 3 horse sacrifice on the bank of Ganga. One sloka says, Parikshit Maharaj gave up his material body on the bank of Ganga. Ganga purifies everybody, including Lord Shiva. That's what we just read. I think it's 1:19:20. So who will not serve, take shelter of Ganga? And he says, let me take shelter of Ganga one more time. Vidura met Maitreya on the bank of Ganga, Haridwar. Great sages take shelter of Ganga as an act of surrendering unto you. Means surrendering to Supreme Lord means surrendering to his things. Tadiya Archanam. Many times we say. Tadiya means belonging to Supreme Lord. Ganga, Yamuna, cows, Tulsi. These are all called Tadiyas. So worshipping Tadiyas is also called worshipping the Supreme Lord because that is Pada Sevanam. Pada Sevanam is also one of the Angas of Bhakti. So in that sense, great sages travel from higher planets to lower planets through Ganga. Sometime one place it is told in Bhagavatam that when the sages came from higher planets, their clothes were wet. The purport Prabhupada says that why their clothes were wet? Because they used Ganga as a means to travel. They came just by dipping in Ganga, they came here. So this thing, now also you see, it seems many people, they are not caught on the CCTVs. Yeah, they didn't enter Prayagraj, but they're coming and appearing in Kumbha Mela. It said that. Shiva becomes auspicious by holding Ganga on his head. Actually, why the name Shiva came? Shiva means auspiciousness and one who brings auspicious. How Shiva became auspicious? What is the source of his own auspiciousness? Is by holding Ganga. The Charanamrit of the Lord, he becomes. This is also there in Bhagavad. Ganga is Charanamrit, it is told. Hearing of Krishna Katha is exactly like bathing in river Ganga. Anything to tell about something great, it's always compared with Ganga. Kardama and Devahuti spent time in Ganga and heavenly planets, it is told that. See, when they were going to spend time with each other, they chose the place like on the bank of Ganga. What is difficult to achieve for determined men who have taken refuge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet? His feet are the source of sacred rivers like the Ganga, which put an end to the dangers of mundane life. It is told in another place, another verse in the 3rd canto. Just as Ganga flows naturally toward the ocean, Bhakti leads to Bhagavan. Another verse. Devakulya was the water which was washed the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead and which later on transformed into the Ganga of the heavenly planet. So Ganga is a personality in his previous appearance. Her name is called Devakulya. Yeah. Devatas did Avabrita Snana in the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna. Even the Devatas come to take bath in Prayagraj. Sati used to take bath in Ganga river in Kailash, Alakananda. She was taking pleasure in taking bath in Ganga. King Ketu lived in the tract of land between Ganga and Yamuna. See, I put all the verses sequence from first canto to 12th canto. Ganga that flows in the sky. Ajamila started for Ganga Dwara. Ganga Dwara means Haridwar. Wherever Ganga flows, that place is of all auspiciousness. Indra's capital Amaravati is surrounded by Akash Ganga. All the devatas every day take bath. Shiva is Gangadhara. Amshuman could not bring Ganga to the material world. He tried. Sons of Sagara can be delivered only by Ganga water. Great devotees. Bhishma is born in the womb of Ganga. Kunti left Karna in Ganga. Indra coronated Lord Krishna with heaven Ganga water. See, many times Kunti we blame that she abandoned. Like she actually handed over to another mother who gives all auspiciousness, take care of this child. She didn't kill him. It's not an abortion. It's not like a child killing. She left in Ganga. Indra coronated Lord Krishna with the heavenly Ganga water. He gives the name Govinda, Indra. Lord's fame is spread in the three worlds just as Ganga is spread. See, Lord's fame is spread in the heavenly planets, earthly planets, lower planets. Similarly, Ganga is spread in all the three places. Lord Brahma visited Ganga Sagara. Lord Balrama visited. Balrama himself went to Ganga Sagar. He took bath. Avaduta Brahmana is like an elephant who takes shelter from a fire by standing within the water of Ganga. Ganga is Krishna's vibhuti. Rid yourself of all sinful reactions with the sight of sacred Ganga river. It is told by Lord Krishna. Foolish king Vishwaspurji will rule the path of earth extending from the source of Ganga to Prayagraj. It is a future prediction. I don't know who was this person. Maharaj Parikshit sat down on the bank of Ganga and left the body. As Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, Bhagavatam is the greatest of all rivers. We read. Yeah. Here is telling another verse. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the waters of the sacred river Ganga. Yat pada samshaya sutta munaya prashamayana sadhya punasyupasprushta pradhunyapo anusevaya. He said that it is true. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than Ganga. Because Ganga one has to go and take bath. But just by remembering a pure devotee, one can be purified. But in Kumbha Mela festival, all the pure devotees also will come. And they are there. Taking their darshan, taking bath in Ganga is so special. Especially in this thing. We read this verse. He's praying that let Mother Ganga, the representative of the Lord, accept me as her subordinate, as her servant, and take me. I only desire that all you continue singing Lord glories of Lord Vishnu, so I leave my body. Parikshit Maharaj is saying. There is nobody better deliverer than Ganga. It is told that taking shelter of the best of the rivers, Tirtha Padaha Prapanna, Bhagavatam is saying. There are a few more verses. Ganga as a means of transportation. I said the sages came from the highest planet down to the lower prison through the waters of the Ganges. And therefore the hair on their heads was wet. On the clothes, the hair. So by seeing that the hair is wet, Prabhupada was writing this thing. Yeah. See. Yasyamalam divi yasa pratitam rasayam bhumauchate bhuvana mangala digvitanam mandakini divi bhogavati chado gangeti cheha charanambu punati vishwam. My dear Lord, you are the symbol of everything auspicious. Your transcendental name and fame is spread like a canopy all over the universe, including the higher, middle, and lower planetary systems. The transcendental water that washes your lotus feet is known in the higher planetary systems as the Mandakini river, in the lower planetary system as the Bhogavati, and in the earthly planetary system as the Ganga. This sacred transcendental water flows throughout the entire universe, purifying wherever it goes. Yeah. Kunti Devi prays, nice shloka. Paime ananya vishaya Matir Madhupate Sakrit Ratim Budvahata Dattha Gange Vaughamudanvati. He's saying, O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganga forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. So, just like Ganga always flows towards the sea without any hindrance, let me be attracted only to you. Cut off my ties with Pandavas, my people, cut off my ties with Vrishnis, my people, one from husband side, one from father side. I only want to take shelter of you. This is what her prayer. And we know, I don't want to get into this Ganga and Mandala, how he's surrounded, and he is called everywhere with different names in all four sides. Yeah. Ganga makes Shiva auspicious. We heard this. And it is told in one place that in the scriptures, his matted locks scattered about, he moves around aimlessly like a madman, yet he is unable to conceal his glories. With joy, he carries on his head the Ganga, born from the water that washed Krishna's lotus feet. When he dances, he destroys the universe. We discussed this also. Maharaj Parikshit fasted into that. Yeah, difference between Ganga and Yamuna, it is told that both are same. Ganga Shataguna Prayo Mathure Mama Mandale Yamuna Vishruta Devi Natra Karya Vicharana. The renowned Yamuna in my domain of Mathura is hundreds of times greater than the Ganga. About this, there can be no dispute, O goddess. In Varaha Purana, it is told Yamuna is 100 times more purifying than Ganga. Yeah, we also discussed this. Different sources. Yeah, I think this is what I wanted to say. Yeah, I told every 6 years it's called Ardha Kumbha, every 12 years it is called Purna Kumbha, and every 144 years it's called Maha Kumbh. That Maha Kumbha is happening now. We'll not be able to see again in our lifetime because Kali Yuga, we know the lifetime is like this, and nobody on this planet at this point. These are some special dates for taking bath, and today is one such day, 29 January, Mauni Amavasya. Yeah. Ganga Sagar Mela is the second largest Hindu festival. It happens after every Makar Sankranti, but Kumbh Mela is the largest festival. I'll stop here and maybe we'll continue tomorrow. There are a few other things about Ganga that we will discuss tomorrow. If anybody has any questions, comments, please. Yes, ma'am. Bhagirath Gurinchi. There, Bhagirath brought, that is also their story. Maybe we can discuss tomorrow. How Bhagirath brought Ganga. Tomorrow we can discuss. Briefly, it is told in Bhagavatam, elaborately in Ramayana. Anything else? Yes.
The second one story is
Hmm.
but Ganga was actually very Vishnu. Like many people come and they live. So she will take this so she'll look contaminated. So then Vishnu tells them, don't worry.
When devotees take bath.
Devotees will come and take bath, they will take care of it.
Yes, that is also there in one of the purports. How the rivers are purified. Ganga is purifying everybody. Who's purifying Ganga? When pure devotees take bath, Ganga is purified. Yeah, that's why she want like devotees to take bath also. Sometimes we cannot feel that this festival is only for sinners. It is also a festival for everybody. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna.